The morning of a new day. Long hair and tank. After all, this 10 yuan trap. This is my first time setting up. So what will the harvest be like? Came to the first place. Seems to be triggered. Gently lift the stone. It was indeed a wild mountain rat. Although it doesn't look big, but the blood in the body can already provide for yourself a certain amount of salt intake. This is a good start. Continue to lift the stones next to the tree roots. Another big rat was lying inside. The body has been crushed. It seems to be avoided instantly. The third one is still the same. And the one they caught was the largest one. So that's a total of 3 harvests. It seems that the body has lost a lot of salt in recent days. Today I finally have some additions. A little help on the fire. Clean the puddle carefully. Prepare a thick bamboo joint. The processed wild mountain rat tree is cut into small pieces. The leaves, which still contain salt, are washed. Also put in 1.5 hours of steaming. American style has taken shape. The soft and glutinous young meat is tender and chewy. The accompanying leaves have also turned into a thick juice. It's really a combination of meat and vegetables. Nutritional balance. At this time, the two, rich in all elements. It's all in the soup. No liquid food and no waste. Eat the meat and drink the last sip of the soup. This camping trip has officially come to an end. After he came back, I want to expand my camp further. A spacious open space was cleared next to the bamboo house. Thick bamboo is used as the load-bearing side beams. As the floor, long, the decision was made to design the whole thing to be suspended in the air. A tightly bound bamboo tube as the base. Tightly arranged bamboo pavers. Secure the roof's load-bearing beams. Neat arrangement. It also shows that the specifications of this construction are of the highest. And the treatment of long hair on the wall. More clever and exquisite. 3 crossbeams for fixing. Inserted into the corresponding side columns. The bamboo strips are cross-connected. This method not only saves the complicated, it can also create a perfect 3-dimensional effect. The right gap. It ensures the brightness of the interior. It also meets the need for ventilation. One morning, Changfa has basically completed the construction of the bamboo house. Extra large windows. The door is equipped with a free and modern special door curtain. The huge banana leaves are used to waterproof the roof. A bamboo house that is even more perfect than before. Completely completed. According to this trend. Could it be that Changfa wants to settle down here? And then spend the rest of your survival journey? An afternoon of boredom. Longhair did not spend such a leisurely time. He also wanted to transform the pottery that had already been completely shaped. Take it out. High temperature firing. If the refining is successful, then you will get more convenient resources for survival. Find a suitable open space. Excavate a relatively flat area. It's just like this. A most primitive kiln was built here. Smooth the surface carefully. According to the size of the fruit plate, mark the exact dimensions on the ground. The lower part is used for shifting of firewood. You need to dig a deep ditch. Dig out holes at the top and bottom and make them pass through. Then fix the fully formed fire bar. The surrounding area is arranged with bamboo strips. Mix clay, according to the direction of bamboo strips. The shape of the kiln is gradually accumulated. Everything is ready. Gather enough firewood. Light the fire from the bottom. 1 hour of high temperature baking. The inner wall of the kiln can be fixed and formed. Then twist the finished pottery jar. Put it in the stove. Seal the hole with bamboo strips. Leave a gap for smoke exhaust. Finally, at the top and around them, completely sealed with mud. The purpose of doing this, it will help to increase the temperature inside the brain. Of course, during the firing period, need long hair to keep adding firewood. This will ensure the bottom have enough charcoal. The next morning, long hair can't wait to open the kiln. However, fired pottery, the tank has not been able to reach the most ideal state. It seems that the temperature in the furnace has not reached, and some firing failed. The largest pottery jar has been broken, although the sound is still crisp. But it is very likely that it is time to knead. No perfect bonding. The remaining long hair, all were taken to the waterside for cleaning and testing. Seems like normal use is okay. Overall, it's a success. It's time to think about your stomach. Bamboo slices are carefully treated into fine bamboo sticks. It's perfectly capable of doing the job as a rope for making traps. The wild fruit next to the bamboo house is also just ripe at this time. The pit inside is a favorite of inferior animals. Long hair will take advantage of it. Set up on the trunk specifically for hunting. Squirrel's trap. Gradually, a certain weight of stones is tied to one end. The other end needs to be wrapped around the tree pole. Forme. It has circles that you can move up and down. On the left and right sides. On separate bundles. Enough for a squirrel to burrow into. The trap is also fixed to the stone. Or on the rope below. Finally, the hard core of the wild bone is stuck in the middle. So, a trap similar to strangulation has been completed. Another night of waiting. Time to check out the traps. However, the first trap, the long hair almost fell into despair. The trap was actually destroyed. The bamboo sticks used for binding were bitten off directly. The wild flames that fell to the ground were also eaten. This shouldn't be what squirrels call, but the angry long hair can't help it. You can only place your hope in the next place. Unfortunately, the disappointment continues. The trap has not set off. There is only one last trap left. If there is still no game, long hair is very likely to continue to starve. An animal has become firmly trapped in a trap. Long hair is very happy. Check it out quickly. It turned out to be a rat free. His neck It was just pressed down by the traps on both sides. This little guy, although it looks very similar to a squirrel. But it's not a squirrel. Skirts on both sides of the body. It allows him to glide slowly down from the sky. Looks like it was last night. He found the fruit of this wild mountain fruit. It's a pity. It became my last flight. Back to the bamboo house. Long hair should be carefully cleaned. After all, it's meat quality, more tender than mice and squirrels, especially the hemlines on both sides of the body, full of collagen. It will provide for the long-haired body. The best quality fat supplement. Constant baking on a fire. The fragrance has permeated the whole bamboo house. Tear off the hind legs, fine, lean meat, chewy. Yesterday's charcoal roasted countless. Long hair has no wings, although it tastes good, but it's really too small. Wake up in the morning. He couldn't wait to hunt. Others can impact food. Searching for clues in the forest. A ground hidden in the bushes. There are obvious running marks. This is what the pheasant does, and for how to capture them with high probability. Longhair has developed its own unique method. Gather a handful of dried leaves and light a fire. That's it. Chuangs plant ash. It's something that's very attractive to them. It's in their nature. The first trap. It can be set directly next to the fire. One of the simplest foot brake devices. The second trap is also very close together. Because this happens to be the place. Shaoqin's Isle from top to bottom. As the saying goes, there are people on the embankment of Yongji Road. Often the correctness of the choice is the key to the success of the hunt. The last third place is also built in sequence. Finally, within the scope. All surrounding passable routes, blocking with leaves or branches. Such a well-designed. A trap net specifically designed to lure hunting valleys. It's all done. However, just as the long hair was about to return, but found a bunch of traces next to it again. It clears the perimeter of a nearly circular empty roof. Still burning ash. Access channel location. They're all covered with little branches. The difference is, this time it's set to step on the sole of the foot, the trap that will be triggered. This type of trap, generally, the survival of the prey can be guaranteed. This also means that it can be reared, and not just for things. 3 more traps surrounding grass and wood ash. The success rate of this hunt will be much higher than ever. Return to the residence. All that's left is to wait. In the blink of an eye, 5 or 6 hours have passed. Time to check it out. The second trap seems to have been triggered. Because the trap has been bounced. But no prey was caught. The ash here shows signs of being frozen. As the camera rotates, sure enough, it was a gray-black pheasant. He has been firmly tethered in the trap. Struggle has completely suffocated him to death. It's the rattan that's wrapped around this plant. The resulting little guy is in very good shape. It should weigh more than 2 caddies. The power of teaching. White stripes mixed with his body are also faintly visible. The color and shape of the toes. Long hair has been determined by judgment. This is the unique black-tailed genji of Southeast Asia. He is the ancestor of Jaji. It's a rainforest bird. Delicious. Chicken firming. It's a complete tonic. This round chicken is very similar in shape to the clip chicken. Throw the whole chicken on the fire. Thoroughly burnt and shaved. After cleaning up, put it in the peach jar that was just fired 2 days ago. Go and pick some fresh leaves. By the puddle. Another complete mountain spring water service package. And just when the long hair is carefully cleaned. This is from his stomach. Took out a lot of undigested seeds. Food is a rare good thing. Gather it carefully. This will be used for later farming. The possibilities offered by planting. Cut the chicken into small pieces. A full pot. Fill up the spring and put it on the fire. However, the water has only just heated up. The fired pottery utensils completely burst open, and almost ruined such a beautiful dinner. It seems that my own pottery industry still needs to continue to improve. There is no way but to find a thick bamboo tube. A certain gap is cut in the bamboo. Put the uncooked chicken back in. Continuous cooking for over an hour. Long hair can finally be started. Original pink mussel. A pair of chopsticks. A clay bowl. This will be a hearty round chicken hot pot of the same age. It will also be the most wonderful night of this time. Today's goal. It's a little squirrel with more delicious meat. Come into the jungle with 3 traps made. Finding the right tree. The tree in front of us is tall enough. There are more forks. Just right to carry the trap on your back. Free-handed climbing. It takes more than 10 minutes to reach the top. Staggered trunks here. It tends to be squirrels. The most enjoyable place to travel and play. Set the trap here. Even without the use of bait, to be able to grasp. However, it has already started to rain lightly in the forest at this time. Damp trunks are slippery and dangerous. Accidentally, it is possible to fall directly from a height. Long hair must be very cautious. More than an hour of caution. Finally, the 3 traps. All settings are complete. Return to the residence. He needs to dry his clothes as soon as possible. 6 hours went by. The current forest and the approaching night. The long hair came to the tree again. Still skilled climbing skills. Wait until you climb up the branch. The whole body works hard, and, striving for balance on the damp tree trunk. It's making him out of breath. He needs to check ASAP. The trap on the branch has been punished. It's a tiny squirrel. His neck had been pinned down. Even if the long hair pulls hard, you can't hold it back so easily. Such a powerful ejection force. Even if it is any kind from the trunk. Passing animals. There must be no return when you touch it. Check all the traps again and set them up. Maybe there will be a next harvest. Quick slide. Safe return to the ground. A total of 2 harvests, enough to support myself through the night. The sun shines on the forest. Long hair is on its way to check it out. Traps used to hunt squirrels yesterday. I don't know if there will be any more gains. Climb the branches again. The squirrels nearby seem to be able to sense it. The pervasive breath of death are no longer there. There are 3 traps all around. No punishment. Quickly retrieve the device. He has more important things to attend to. It needs to be done today. Cut 2 thick bamboo in batches. He wants to make a modern agricultural planting base. Measure the approximate size on the bamboo pole. The long bamboo is cut into a short section of nearly 2 meters. Each of the bamboo joints is on the same side. Cut a gap of similar size, and for smooth drainage. Still at the corresponding bottom, they made little holes. The load-bearing trunk is used for the overall support. Was hummed into the ground. I found a thicker furry owner. Dig out just the right gap. Then the gap was embedded in the end of the trunk. It turned out that he wanted to create a 3-dimensional vegetable garden detached from the ground. Corresponding construction on the left and right sides. A completely vacated base is made. Immediately after, mark the approximate distance on the bamboo on both sides. Again, a critique of the notch for fixation. Finally, the pre-processed planting is measured. Place them in the gaps in turn. So layered. Not only is it ornamental and practical vegetable gardens, it's all there in front of you. Is this better than dig directly into the ground for planting? More artistic. Fertile forest black soil. It is filled into the bamboo joints little by little. Burnt grass will be used as fertilizer to fuel. It's spread out evenly over every section of the soil. Finally, a few days ago from the stomach of a pheasant, crop fruits obtained in. Take it out and just dry it. Scatter a few in each section of the soil. It doesn't take long. Long hair will have own modern agricultural planting base. Hairy chubby body. Total constriction of limbs. Hidden in caves below the ground. Nearly 3 hours of digging. First, the dried leaves are dug up. Then the whole arm goes deep. Finally caught. Traps collected yesterday. It can still be used normally. Long hair still decided to look for a few suitable locations. Set them all up again. After all, the needs of the mice are still necessary. Salt for body function. It requires occasional replenishment. Passage under the rock wall, next to the root. Narrow bush. The trap at slope 3 has been placed. I wonder if there will be a harvest tomorrow? However, on the way back from Changfa, but again I made an unexpected discovery. There is a newly excavated cave on a slope. And there was dirt piling up at the door. Reach in and check out the cave. Narrow holes and enough depth. So that he can't probe inside immediately. What kind of animal is it? Long hair decides to dig up the trunk and cut out the pointed tip. The entrance to the cave is a yellow cave. Nearly 2 hours of non-stop digging. Finally got a glimpse of the situation inside the cave. Inside is a collection of dry dead leaves. These are often when the animals are building their nests, specially stored for the warmth in the cave. This means that it is not far from the body of the prey. Continue to expand the position of the hole, so that you can get as close as possible. The whole body leans down. The arm touches completely deep. The long hair immediately became alert. It's obvious. The guys in the cave are attacking or resisting. However, in the cunning prey, can't fight the stunning and experienced hunter. Under the continued offensive of long hair, the little guy was eventually taken from the cave, pulled out, hands tightly strangled. Gray-black fluff. Not big but fat. Not very aggressive. Light turned out to be a cute rabbit. At this time, he has long hair. Grab the ear firmly. There is no chance to resist. Short tail. All 4 limbs are also shrinking. The cute little face seems to have closed its eyes. Let the long hair continue to fiddle in the hand. Long hair, after careful observation, finally decided to bring the little guy back. After all, it took a lot of effort to catch it. Although the little rabbit is also struggling hard on the way, but it's still useless. Come to a stream. Hold both ears and let the little guy drink some water. After returning to the residence, long hair doesn't seem to be ready to eat it. Its rope made out of tree bark. Bolted up. It seems that after, this little guy will be his first pet. The lonely journey to survival can finally be done, but the little guy's cute look is really suitable. Calais sinensis plant in tree shape. The little guy seems to like it too. However, the days that followed, will he survive? The cute little gray rabbit has spent the first night with long hair. With him by my side, long hair seems to be a lot more energetic. The production of the trap began early in the morning. Rope woven from bark. Sort out free-moving traps. Just trigger. You can easily tie the ankle of the prey. Everything is ready. Continue to the jungle to find traces of prey. A wide clearing in the middle of the bushes. The dead leaves scattered on the ground also show signs of digging. Multiple shape distributions. It is obvious that this is the pheasant who used to be in the secret room. This is a natural hunting ground. The ejected branches can be placed directly next to it. For mechanisms for triggering. Neat archway. The round trap should also completely cover the hole, only, if the prey passes by, there is no possibility of escape. Still the same way. Still the same shape. The spare position is surrounded by branches. A perfect hunt. The traps are all set. The rest is up to time. Back to the bamboo house. The silly little gray rabbit has been eating. Regardless of the life and death of its owner, Longhair can only be lonely. Reignite the fire. For body warmth. However, good luck suddenly came. I'm worried that I don't have Longhair for lunch yet. Immediately excited, pick up the stone next to it. Raise of the tall building on the right hand. Step by step towards the door. He's ready to shoot at any time. It was on the branch of the small tree opposite. Accidentally stopped a forest bird. Throw the gold hit hard. This is a real person cooking at home from heaven. Although he is small. But at least today at noon, you have food to eat. 6 hours of waiting. The sky in the forest has gradually darkened. Time to check out the hunting traps. However, the Longhair just came into sight. Accessible edge. He started running fast. The trap has been triggered. A pheasant's paw is firmly tied by a snare. However, just as the Longhair was about to capture it, the pheasant suddenly flew up. Fortunately, the trap has not been destroyed. Otherwise it's just a cooked duck flying away. Squeeze and grab the roots of the wings. A pointed beak with a hook. Smooth feathers are brightly colored. The most important ones are the two on the tail. Long tail feathers. The chicken caught today. Is it a pheasant? Back to the house. Set about lighting the fire. However, the pheasant on the side did not die at this time. He still has memories. The airport village Longhair also has a benevolent love. Survivor of the heart. He waited until the little guy was completely dead. After. Just started to deal with him in the next step. The whole thing was thrown on the fire. After high temperature quality test. And the body's free water will gradually boil. So it can be easily. All the feathers are plucked out. The pheasant is too big. If you want to barbecue directly, it may take too long to place an order. Boiling is more suitable. Thick bamboo joints cut gaps. Careful cleaning by the puddle. Tender chicken chopped into pieces. Another pot full. Put it on a hot charcoal fire. It only takes 2 hours to wait. Tasty pheasant hot pot. And you can taste it. A brick of chopsticks. A china bowl. Accompanied by warm fire. Long-haired face, always exuding a happy expression of enjoyment. A new day is coming. The Longhair has already shuttled through the toneling. 3 rat traps set 2 days ago. A long time has passed. It's time to harvest. This one under the root of the tree has been triggered. A small wild landscape. The spine of the stalk has been completely crushed. And one can also be caught in the remaining 2 places. The harvest of these 3, completely, it can properly supplement the salt required by the body. Clean up body hair and internal organs. Neatly arranged for continuous baking on a fire. The waiting time for Longhair is not wasted. They cut down an economical bamboo. Processing out tiny pieces of bamboo. A circular collar was tied on the ground. After installation on the ground, and then it builds a curved skeleton around it. He wants to build a relative for the bunny. A freer farmer. Horizontal interspersing of bamboo slices. It can be fixed in all directions. After simple processing, a delicate rabbit. The cage is complete. And then we put some giant leaves on top. Used to shade light rain that may come at any time. The little guy was let in, eating the tender plantain heart calmly. However, such a gap in the rabbit cage. Always felt that he was at risk of ingratiating himself at any time. At this time, the burnt charcoal roast is also completely crispy. It's dinner time. Big mouth hoarseness. Crispy chewing. Body salt. Will be at this dinner. Get a little supplement.